Hello everyone and welcome to AWM Studios Productions official return video right here. As you can see, I'm wearing the old school SmackDown referee shirt that they used to give out to all the referees in WWE's SmackDown brand. The blue and black striped shirt right here with the SmackDown logo. I don't know if you can see it, so I'm trying to zoom in. But that's the old shirt that guys like Charles Robinson used to wear. Mickey, whatever. I forgot his last name. I apologize. I have a lot of respect for those guys that grew up in the mid-2000s working on the SmackDown brand, wearing the black and blue shirts like these to referee in. But to make a long story short, that's what today's episode is going to be about. The old school SmackDown referees and SmackDown style of wrestling back in the day. So let's get started. If you haven't done so already, before I get started, please subscribe, and click that bell icon to stay notified for every single time I drop a video right here on the AWM Studios production community page on YouTube. Thank you. I'm Barry Wolf. Nice to meet all of you. Thank you for joining me on this episode here today. All right, now what are we really going to be talking about more so? We're going to be talking about basically what it was like to work as a referee in WWE in the mid-2000s. So basically what that means is you got Raw referees and SmackDown referees at first. Secondly, around 2005, 2006, they decided to bring back ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, on the WWE show. So what does that mean? They brought in a third brand, ECW. So you had SmackDown, Raw, and ECW, or if you want to do it chronologically, you had Raw, ECW, and SmackDown on Fridays, wearing these SmackDown black and blue striped shirts. And basically, I love that era of wrestling. It was the best era of wrestling in my opinion. From 2002 to 2009, it was the best time you could ever be working for WWE. And then it hit a slow point down the line, and it kind of went off the rails a little bit here and there. But that's basically where you start from in this video. Is basically from the time SmackDown separated and started wearing blue and black striped shirts like this for the referees. And you had guys, like I said, like Charles Robinson. He's the only one that I can really name at this point. Mike Chioda, maybe? Yeah, Mike Chioda was a referee at that point. I think he was Raw, though. I think he was Monday Night Raw, which you were wearing the generic black and white striped shirts that you see all over the independents right now. Basically, I think he was wearing the generic referee shirt on Raw, because Raw had the generic black and white shirt, SmackDown had the blue and black shirts, and ECW had the gray and red striped shirts to differentiate themselves from all the rest, because they were supposed to be like the enemy territory. It was their version of doing basically what WCW was supposed to be when Vince McMahon initially bought WCW. Because what you guys probably don't know or are unaware of, if you're not a true wrestling fan like I am, you probably didn't know, originally when Vince bought out WCW, he was supposed to start an episode of WCW Monday Nitro, basically replacing Raw, not canceling Raw, but replacing it, meaning Raw would have been like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday instead, so that Monday could be reserved for WCW Nitro, and then compete with Tuesday or Wednesday Raw, and treat it like it still was the Monday Night War still going on, basically, but within itself, within its own unit. And that's basically what they were trying to do, was do something similar in that nature. So basically that's just what they were trying to do, is try and compete with each other within themselves. WCW would have been treated like it never was bought out. It would have been its own entity, its own company, even though technically licensed wise, legally wise, it was owned by Vince McMahon on paper. It was going to be treated as if it wasn't. It was going to be treated as if it was still its own company, trying to put WWF or WWE out of business at the time, and trying to do all that. That's what initially WCW was going to do when they were first bought out by Vince McMahon in the late 2000s. But then, Vince McMahon decided, you know what? I don't want to do that, because when I tried to do just one WCW match at the end of Raw in one episode, the crowd just completely trashed it and tanked on it and hated it and shit on it. They did not like it whatsoever. They thought it was the worst decision I could have ever have done. It was Buff Bagwell versus, I think, Booker T. I could be wrong with who Buff Bagwell faced, but I think it was Booker T. I think it was. Let me know down in the comments, please. I want to hear your guys' opinions. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to hear your guys' conversations. So please, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of not only the episode, but if I'm getting any facts wrong, please correct me down in the comments below so I can fix my shows a lot better as I go along. Also, one thing. Please be sure, on May 7th, I know this is a long time away, but on May 7th, when Victory Pro Wrestling comes back to St. James Sports Arena in St. James, New York, you will be getting a live stream from me. If I can get better equipment to put my phone in my car better, you will be joining me on a road trip to the St. James Sports Arena before the show starts, and see behind the scenes, basically, of what it's like to set up a podcast, or what it's like to set up a video cast like this, but a live stream one. So you get on the moment what it's like to do a show like this on YouTube. Try not to stutter here and there. I'm trying to fix that a little bit. But on the live streams, because it's live streamed, you may see a little bit of stuttering here and there. There's no room for basically stopping it and redoing it, or stopping it and continuing it. Basically jump cuts. There's no really room for that, like I'm doing here in this video on purpose, deliberately, basically, to try and show you what it's like to do jump cuts and what it looks like. I mean, you've probably seen it in a bunch of YouTube videos. Over hundreds of thousands of YouTube videos do generic jump cuts. Either they do it on purpose, or they do it because they messed up a line, whatever. They do it to try and fix an error, or attempt to fix an error. But it's noticeable, so you can see pretty much what a jump cut looks like throughout this whole video. But let's get back on the track, on the topic now. But I do want to make one other thing known. One other thing. And that is, if you haven't done so already, please get your tickets to the next Victory Pro Wrestling show happening on Saturday, May 7th, live from the Sports Arena in St. James, New York, as we bring to you Power Grab. So please, if you haven't done so, go to victoryprowrestling.com and purchase yourself tickets to the greatest show on earth in St. James. Victory Pro Wrestling presents Power Grab. I'll be there in attendance. No, I'm not booked on the show itself, but I will still be there recording video and getting better quality videos than my last one from the last show, Blood, Sweat, and 16 Years, because that one I wasn't able to get full-length matches, and I apologize on that tremendously. But I promise you, by the time May 7th comes, on May 8th, I'll be doing all my video editing, and by May 9th, the videos will be uploaded and up to date on this YouTube channel. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Click that bell icon so that you know when I do drop that video in May. Thank you. And now let's get back onto the topic at hand. Alright, now back to the topic at hand. Basically what that is like I was saying about WCW. Buff Bagwell faced Booker T on an episode of Raw, representing the WCW Monday Nitro turn, or what was supposed to initially be the catalyst for it, and it went horrible. Booker T was a fantastic wrestler, don't get me wrong. Buff Bagwell was mediocre to decent. Like, he was watchable, but he wasn't entertaining. And it's not on the guy. It's just on the fact that it happened in a WWE ring rather than on WCW cameras, in a WCW arena, in a WCW environment. And they were just trying to make it look like WCW, but they were using the Monday Night Raw set, just with different graphics on the screen saying WCW. And you can't just use the exact same identical set and just paint it over with WCW. You can't just do that. You can't. You obviously cannot just do that. I mean, seriously, you're going to do that, you might as well call it modern day Raw and SmackDown, where they look identical. At least back in the mid-2000s, from 2002 to 2008, late 2008, they had SmackDown with the giant fist on the stage, and then you had Raw with their rhombus Titantron, and it just looked and felt, I just felt different. It felt different, and that's what I loved, was that you could see it, and it felt different. Just like changing the channel, it looked like two different shows. Like, you knew it was WWE, regardless of what show it was, because of the logo on the side of the screen. But the referees wore different color shirts. The wrestlers just acted different. The storylines were better on both shows. It acted like they were trying to compete with each other. I don't know. It just felt different, and it was right at that moment. Nowadays, in my opinion, WWE is a dying breed. It's a dying breed, and I hate to say that because I loved watching WWE for, God, like 16, 17, 18 years now. I loved watching WWE. Yeah, there were some off periods where WWE started to go downhill, but then it found its way back uphill. Like 2014, when CM Punk left the WWE, that was when wrestling started to go back downhill, because without CM Punk was with WWE from 2006 through 2011 for all of 2 weeks, and then came back, or 2 or 3 weeks, came back, and then basically it went uphill again because CM Punk was being real. I mean, it was like blurring the lines between Phil Brooks, the guy, and CM Punk, the character, where it blurred the lines between what could be real, what is he saying that could be real, is he shooting, is he acting, is he reading a script, is he talking for real off his head, what is real? And that's what I loved, was when CM Punk came back after that 2 to 3 week hiatus, after winning the WWE belt at Money in the Bank in 2011 in Chicago, was basically the fact that CM Punk did all that, and then came back and made it look that much stronger than ever. But then they started to go downhill again. They started to. And that was after CM Punk left WWE in 2014, because Batista was given the victory at the Royal Rumble. Not that he was asking for the victory, not that he was being greedy and saying, I need the victory, I want the victory, no, give it to me. No, he was saying, give it to someone that truly deserves it, someone that's been here all this time, every single week, every single month, on camera, that's been here. It doesn't have to be me, CM Punk. It could be Daniel Bryan, it could be someone like Rey Mysterio, someone that's been here longer. Not someone that just came back within the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Someone that just came back and is going to automatically win the belt at WrestleMania. No. I'm not looking for the greediness. I'm not looking for the win. If you're going to let me lose, but at least give the victory to someone that's been here, someone that deserves it, someone that's actually earned the opportunity, that's been busting his ass, working week after week after week after week after week, and busting their ass, proving to you, proving to the fans, proving to the audience, proving it to everyone in the back that they've done everything they can to make it to the big time at WrestleMania that year. But nobody wanted to hear Phil Brooks out. So what did CM Punk do? He left WWE after being eliminated from the Royal Rumble that year in 2014. And he was basically told, here's your papers, here's your termination papers, have a good day, thank you for coming, but never come again. That was basically when WWE started to ultimately, from that point on, go downhill. I just wanted to make a little quick word out. You can go on to bonfire.com/store/AWM Studios and pick up merchandise such as the shirts you're seeing on the screen. My Valentine shirts, my new channel shirts, my Barry Wolf shirts, my premium shirts, so much more on this website. That's bonfire.com/store/AWM Studios. Pick up yourself a shirt today, face mask, coffee mug, whatever, and support this wonderful, wonderful channel on YouTube. Thank you, and talk to you all in the next one. And post it to Instagram using hashtag AWM Studios Supporter. Again, that's hashtag AWM Studios Supporter. That should be somewhere over here, or down here, wherever I tend to put it in post-production. Just use that hashtag AWM Studios Supporter. And I will know firsthand that you're a supporter, you're a subscriber of AWM Studios. And also, one last time, I'm going to mention this one last time. Please show support to the local wrestling community in New York on Long Island by going to victoryprowrestling.com tonight or today and get yourself tickets to the May 7th return show to the St. James Sports Arena in St. James, New York. 620 Middle Country Road in St. James, New York. Live from the Sports Arena in St. James, we are bringing back Victory Pro Wrestling on Saturday night, May 7th, as we bring to you Power Grab. You'll see Victory Pro Wrestling champion Johnny Pretty Boy Collins in action. And you'll also see the new New York State champion, the Big Bolfa, Desmond Cole, in action as well as seeing the Even Stevens Victory Pro Wrestling's own tag team champions in action or in a storyline. Whatever it is, just come on down to the Sports Arena in St. James on Saturday night, May 7th, by getting your tickets online at victoryprowrestling.com today. And be sure to bring your Bonfire AWM Studios merchandise to the show so that I know you are a supporter and subscriber to this YouTube channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good night, everyone, and see you all in the very next video.